In this video we are going to solve a paper from summer 16 and paper is B2 and variant is 22, and the question is, each year the Reds play the Blues in a basketball match. Okay, so there are two teams, Reds versus Blues. Now in 2014 there were 40,500 tickets sold for the match, while in 2015 the number of tickets sold was 2.4% more than in 2014. So calculate the number of tickets sold for the match in 2015. So the tickets sold in 2015, tickets sold in 2015 according to given information, now they are 2.4% more than in 2014. This is given. Now because 2.4% more than 2014, so you need to increase whatever is sold in 2014. Now in 2014 tickets sold was 40,500, so you have to increase this by 2.4% of 40,500. So basically we are adding 2.4% of 40,500 in 40,500. So that is basically increase 2.4% more. Okay, so you can simplify this is 40,500 plus, so 2.4% is basically 2.4 over 100. When you will remove this percentage sign, definitely you will divide by 100. Of mean multiply into 40,500. So that will be simplified further. 0, you can cancel them. Okay, it will be 40,500 plus 2.4 into 405. Now upon simplification, when you will multiply them, it will be 40,500 plus 2.4 into 405 will give you 972. So your answer will be, the number of tickets in 2015 will be 41,472. So they are the number of tickets sold in the year 2015, which is basically 2.4% more than the tickets sold in 2014. Whereas the part B says, in 2015 the cost per ticket for the match was 68.25. Now the cost per ticket is given. The cost per ticket for the match increased by 5% from 2014 to 2015. So let's summarize this one. Actually, cost per ticket in which year? In 2015. Now that is dollars 68.25. Now basically in comparison to 2014, this cost is 5% more. It is increased from 2014 to 2015. There is an increase in price, and the increase is 5%. Now basically the increase is in the cost of the ticket in 2014. So what is the cost of ticket in 2014? Whatever it was, cost of ticket in 2014, whatever it was, let's suppose it was X. Let's suppose the cost of per ticket, you may say that cost per ticket in 2014 is X, because we have to find the cost per ticket for the match in 2014, and when you don't know that, you can let it X, and according to the given condition, this cost which is X and that is the cost of ticket in 2014. Now that has increased by 5%. That means you will add 5% of x in x. Now that is increase of 5%. Now that will give you the cost in 2015, which is this one. Again I am repeating that cost in 2014, which we have supposed x because we don't know that, we have to find that, plus 5% increase, that means 5% of x will give you cost in 2015. So you can simplify it. This will become x plus 0.05x is equal to 68.25. Now 5% mean 5% 5 divided by 100, which is 0.05. Now that becomes 1.05x is equal to 68.25. Basically our purpose is to find x, the cost of per ticket in 2014. You can find that simply move 1.05 on right hand side, so 68.25 divided by 1.05 will give you the cost, and that is $65. Now that is cost per ticket in 2014. The next part C of the same question says calculate the percentage increase from 2014 to 2015 in the total money taken for the match. When you have to find percentage increase, the formula is percentage increase is basically change, whatever it is, divided by the original price into 100. Now the change mean whatever is the cost of tickets in 2015 minus the cost of tickets in 2014. So this is change. Cost of tickets in 2015 minus cost of tickets in 2014 divided by, actually the original cost is cost of tickets in 2014. Now this is original 1 into 100. You can calculate cost of tickets in 2015. That is simple. Now that is 41,472. Now 41,472 is number of tickets sold in 2015 multiplied by cost of a ticket in 2015, that is given 68.25. okay, this is the total cost of tickets in 2015 minus cost of tickets in 2014. That is number of tickets in 2014. Number of tickets in 2014 are 40,500 and cost per ticket is 65. We have calculated this cost per ticket in the last part, divided by this original was the original cost, which is 40,500 into 65. Now change, this is change in the cost divided by original cost, that is in 2014 multiplied by 100. Calculate it. So your answer will be, upon simplification, will give you 7.52%. This is the answer for this question number 1. Question number 2 is we have a vector jk whose column vector is 2, 5, then kl has a column vector 4, -2, then lm has a column vector -1, 3, and we need to find jm. Okay, so that is simple. Now jm is basically equal to jk plus kl plus lm. Let me explain. According to the rule of vector addition, you can add them if this alphabet is same, k and k, you know, that is basically jk plus kl is jl and jl plus lm is jm. However, I am going to write their column vectors. Now jk is 2, 5 as given, KL is 4 minus 2 and LM is minus 1 and 3. So add them. According to the rule of addition, you are going to add 2, 4 minus 1. 2 plus 4 is 6 minus 1, 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So the answer for JM is 5, 6. In part 2, they have asked us to calculate the magnitude. Basically, these bars mean the magnitude of KL, and you can find that KL magnitude is basically square root of 4 square, that is basically for x, and this is representing y, plus minus 2 square. That will give you 16. 4 square is 16 obviously, minus 2 square is 4, that is under root 20. That is the answer for this part number 2. Part number B is quite interesting, and that is again vectors. What is given to us is that OA is represented by A, OB represented by B. What else? C is the point. Okay, where is C? This is C is the point such that OAC is a straight line. And what else? AC is 2 times OA. Okay, this is twice as compared to this one. E is, okay, this one. E is the point such that E to C is equal to O to D. Interesting. And express as simply as possible in terms of A and B, the value for AD. Okay, AD. Now if you see from that, AD is basically AO plus OD. Okay, you can write it as AO plus OD. Now from here, AO is negative A, because we have the direction in this side. This should be plus A, and if you are going in opposite direction, that should be minus A, negative of A. And OD. So according to given information, D is the midpoint of OB. Now if D is midpoint, then obviously this is OD is half of OB. OB is B, so OD is half B. Okay, 1 by 2 B. Okay, now you can take LCM over here. Okay, now let's take the LCM. If I take 2 as my LCM, that will be minus 2A plus B. So that is the answer for AD. What about EB? Let's just explore the diagram. EB, well, that is simple. EB mean, first of all, go from E to C. Okay, then from C to O. Okay, and then from O to B. Okay, now from here, as we know, EC is OD given, so EC is replaced by OD plus CO as it is plus OB. Now the things are simple. Now OD we have just written about it. OD is half B, 1 by 2B. What about CO? CO, that is interesting. The OA is A, while this section is twice as compared to this one. If this is A, then this is obviously 2A, and 2A plus A mean from here till here, this is 3A. However, this direction is 3A, while C to O is minus 3A. You can write here CO minus 3A. What about OB? OB is represented by B. So that's the situation. You can simplify the situation. Minus 3A plus 1 by 2B plus B. You can simplify them in further. No, you can take LCM as 2, which will become B plus 2b, your answer should be minus 3a plus 3b by 2. So that is for part number of B. Yes, this is part number B. Okay. In part number 2, they have asked us to find the ratio of EB, magnitude, to AD, magnitude. Okay. Now, as we have calculated the value for EB, we have obtained that, and EB is, let me write over here, EB was accordingly minus 3a plus 3b by 2, while AD was also obtained in the previous part, and that is equal to minus a plus b by 2 after simplification, minus a plus b by 2. Now, the magnitude for EB is the square of minus 3 plus square of 3 by 2 under root. Ratio AD magnitude is minus 1 square and 1 by 2 square. Okay. Minus 3 square is 9, 3 over 2 square is 3 square is 9, 2 square is 4, under root ratio minus 1 square is 1 and 1 by 2 square is 1 by 4. What is next? I have taken LCM over here. 4 is LCM. Now 4 into 9 is 36. 1 into 9 is 9. Ratio 4 into 1 is 4 plus 1 by 4. Okay. 36 plus 9 is 45 over 4. Ratio 5 over 4. You can enter them in the same square root. Both have square roots. So you can combine them in one square root. The 45 over 4 ratio mean division over 5 over 4. Now you can cancel this 4. The 45 over 5 will basically give you 5 1s are 5, 5 9s are 45, 9 over 1, under root 9 is 3, so that is 3 over 1. So that answer for the ratio of the magnitude of EB to AD is 3:1. In question number 3, summer 2016 P2, gradient is 2:2. Steven asked 25 women how many children they have. The results are summarized in the table which is in front of you. You have to find the mean. As this is group data, and mean for group data is basically is obtained using the formula summation fx over summation f. Now we have been given the value of f, frequency, and we have been given the value for x. Now you can find that mean is summation fx. Okay, fx mean multiply f with x, fx 7 into 0, and summation mean you have to sum all of this multiplication plus next multiplication of f and x is 5 into 1 plus next multiplication 6 into 2 plus next multiplication is 4 into 3 plus next multiplication is 3 into 4. Okay, divided by summation f mean you have summation mean add, f mean all the frequencies. Okay, that is 7 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3. Now what you will get? 7 into 0 is 0, 5 into 1 is 5, 6 into 2 is 12, 4 into 3 is 12, 4 into 3 is 12, divided by 7 plus 5, 12, 12 plus 6, 18 plus 2, 4, sorry, 22, 22 plus 3 is 25, 12 plus 12 plus 12, 36 plus 5, 41 over 25. That is the mean for this part, and in decimals that is 1.64. Okay, got it. Now the part 2 for this question is to find median and mod. So for median and mod I need to go back to the table. So I am going back in order to work in front of you. What about median? As you know, median, this one. Now median is something which represents middle value, and that is n plus 1 by 2. So that is basically the position. Now this gives you the position where the median is. median group, you can say, median class. Okay, what is n? N is total number of values that are basically, how many values do we have? We have n plus 1, that is, n is 25, sum of all the frequencies, 7 plus 5 12 plus 6 18 plus 4 22 plus 3 25, 25 plus 1 over 2, that is 26 over 2, and that is 13th. Mean 13th position is our answer. 13th position. Let's calculate where we are. Up till here we are at 7, means 7 frequency, means 7 positions, then 7 plus 5 12, and up till here we have got 12 positions, 7 plus 5 12, and from 12 to further 18 we are in this group, in this class. So this is our median, that is 2. So median is 2 because we have got 13th position. 13th position falls here, over here. 7 plus 5 12, 12 plus 6 18. So from 12 till 18 all the position lies over here. What about mod? Mod is most repeated or most occurring value, and that mean the value which has the highest frequency among all of them. So highest frequency is 3, no, 4, no, 6, no, 5, no, 7. So mod is 0 because 0 has got the highest frequency. Mod is 0. That's the answer. So the next part B is, Steven says that mod is the average that best represents the data, and explain why Steven is wrong. Because mod is unreliable. Mod is unreliable when sample size is small. When sample size is small. That is one of the reasons that mod maybe not the best one. Okay, the next part is, Steven chooses 2 women at random from the group, and you have to calculate the probability that both of them have just one child. Okay, look at the probability. Okay, if you want to see, look at this table, and for one child we have 5 frequency. Now when you have to choose 2 women, now for the first case, okay, for the first case, now let us write a probability 1 child. Okay, now when you are going to choose the first woman, they are 5 in number, divided by total frequency is 25, and when you are going to pick the second one, then obviously there are 4, because out of total 5 1 is chosen over here, left will be 4, and total outcomes will also be affected, that will be now 24 because 1 woman is already chosen. So that will be 5 into 4 20, and 25 into 24 is 600. Simplify this one, you will get 1 by 30, which is the answer for this part. Next part is to basically draw a bar graph for the given data. Now how to draw that? Now basically we have been given number of children on x-axis while frequency is on y-axis. So this is part number D. Okay, so when number of children are, suppose they have given us 0, so the 0 against 0 we have frequency 7. Let it write over here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. When number of children are 0, we have been given that the frequency is 7. You can see it from the given table. When number of children are 1, the frequency is 5. You can see it from the table. So bar chart will go up till 5, and there is a space between the bars in case of a bar chart, then and the width should be same. Then there is a number of children when they are 2, so for that case frequency is 6, so we need to go up till 6. Okay, like this. And when number of children are 3, the frequency is 4. So draw your bar up till 4, and when frequency mean the number of children are 4, the frequency is 3. Okay, 3 up till here. This is 3. Now this is how you will draw a bar chart for this given data. In the next part E of this question, Stephen shows Frank the paper on which he recorded the data from his survey, and part of the paper has been torn, and as you can see he has written the number of children 1 1, then 0 4 2 2 and all that. This part is basically torn. So which 5 numbers are missing from the paper? That is relatively easy. You can simply count the numbers and you can check it from your frequency table that what was the frequency for that number. For example, 0, here if you can see 0 comes 7 times. Let's count 0. As you can see, we have how many zeros over here? 1 2 3 4 5. We have 5 zeros, so basically our 2 zeros are missing. Similarly, you can check from the frequency table how many ones we have. We have 5 frequency for 1, so you can count it from here. Do you have 5 ones? 1 2 3 4. No, we have 1 less, so you have to write this over here as missing number. Similarly, there is 1 number missing, 3 and 4. If you will count the frequency for 3 from the table, you will find 1 3 short over here and 1 4 will be short over here as well. In question number 4, they have given us that triangle ABC. We have a triangle where we have 3 sides. AB is 8, mean this is 8. Just write it over as 8 centimeters. Then A to C is 7, this one, and then B from here till C. Now C is a point which is missing over here, that is 12. Okay, so we have to use a ruler and a compass to construct the triangle ABC. Well, and side AB has been drawn for you, so let's make a try. Now for this part you need to have a compass and you have to place your compass at A. So first of all, draw AC, mean put your compass at A and then rotate your compass. The compass should be opened up to 7 centimeters. Now with 7 centimeters, rotate your compass, so you will have this arc, this one. Okay, then draw BC, that is 12 centimeter. AC was 7 centimeter, mean you need to open your compass 12 centimeter. And where to place your compass? At B, over here. Place your compass, just rotate it with 12 centimeter opening, and what will happen, this arc will be over here and these two arcs will be intersecting each other at this point, and this point is basically C. And then you can measure this angle which is to be obtained, I think over here. Now this angle BAC, so angle BAC is 104 degree. You can measure it with the help of a protractor. How? Just place your protractor like this. The center of protractor should be at A, like this exactly, and this line, this one, it should be exactly above the line AB. Okay, now from here you can see that this angle is just above 100 and between 110. This is 100, this is 110, so between them is 10. 4. In this way you can measure this angle. The part B is calculate the interior angle of a 12 sided polygon. Okay, so basically interior angle of one interior angle is basically n by 2 into 180 divided by n, where n is number of sides. And how many sides do we have? We have 12. So 12 minus 2 into 180 over 12, no, that is 10 into 180 over 12, that is 1800 over 12, and which will give you 150. So 150 is the answer for interior angle of a regular 12 sided polygon. In part number C, you have to calculate the value of P and Q. What is the figure? It is a hexagon with two parallel sides, this one, and one horizontal line of symmetry, mean this one will be the line of symmetry. Okay, now if this is 25, the figure is symmetrical about this horizontal line, then this is 125. If this is Q, then this is Q. First of all, let's have the value of P. Now I am going to basically divide this from here. Now at this point, this is angle of 90, this is angle of 90, and now it is 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. Now this is 5-sided figure, and for 5-sided figure you can calculate the total angle. That is, I am considering this figure again. I am repeating that this one side 2 3 4 and 5. So this angle is P plus 125 plus 125 plus 90 plus 90, that is equal to, because it is a 5-sided polygon, so that is 5 minus 2 and minus 2 into 180, that will give you 540. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 into 180 is 540. Okay, whatever. So P plus, you will add all of them, and when you will add all of them, you will get 430 is equal to 540. Excuse me for that. 543 into 180, and from here you can get value of P, 540 minus 430, and that will give you 110 as the value for P. In order to find the value of Q, you simply need to, this is hexagon 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is hexagon, so add all of the angles. This is P plus 125 and 125, as we know that this is 125. Okay, plus Q, and this one is also Q, so we have 2Q. This is also Q. Now this one is 360 minus 3P, plus 360 minus 3P will give me the total interior angle of this hexagon, and total interior angle for hexagon is 720 from the formula n minus 2 into 180, where n is 6. Okay, now P is 110. 110 plus 2 into 125 is 250 plus 2Q plus 360 minus 3 into P is 110, that is equal to 720. And from here you can find the value for Q upon moving 110, 250, 360, and this value on the right side, where 720 will be subtracted, mean all of these values upon moving the right side will be added or subtracted from 720. So you can get 2Q, and 2Q will be equal to, that is twice of 165. The 2Q is equal to 330, and from here Q will be equal to 330 by 2, which is 165. So that is the solution up to this part. This is part number 1 of this paper. In my next video I will upload the rest of the questions to have a normal video length. So keep watching, subscribe the channel, and comment for any query, and wait for the next part that will be uploaded in a couple of days. Thank you so much.